Hi everyone. Today I want to discuss uh, the trouble with memory. This because being a regression therapist, I deal a lot with memory, of course, as does regression therapy. We deal with memories from our clients. We try to help them recover memories, but the main idea is to manage such memories so that we gain a therapeutic result from this. And when we are dealing with memory, we may resort to a famous work from a psychologist, Daniel Shakter, from 2001, an article he published with the title The Seven Sins of Memory. And I think it's useful and it's interesting to discuss such sins of memory in their connection with regression therapy. So the first one is just transience, or the fact that we forget. Indeed, we forget lots of stuff in our lives, and there are discussions about, does this mean that we just lose memories, or are we losing the access to them? Well, I would say we mainly lose the access. And one of the triumphs of regression therapy is that through the modification of states of consciousness, we get better access to what we forgot and to the implications of that, and we have a better way of restructuring, reframing, and assigning new meaning to our memories. Through many different techniques and approaches, we can actually recover lost memories, and memories sometimes we don't even know we had, like when we talk about past lives, and through that we can get very interesting therapeutic results, depending of course on the way we work with those memories. Then we have absent-mindedness, the second sin. This means distraction usually does not concern really regression therapy, because it concerns the way we memorize, the way we keep our memories, and if we are absent-minded, usually we get poor memory or no memory at all because we are not paying attention. And paying attention to things is essential for getting good memories. So moving on, we have blocking. That means we have no access to memories. They are there, but we are not getting them, we are not accessing them. Well, again, this is one of the areas of expertise for regression therapists. We help our clients get around their blocks. We help them find ways to really find those lost memories. And then we help them work with those memories that they lost, that they were blocked, so that once again they can reframe, they can restructure, and they can get rid of the troubles coming from some lost memories, but they're not entirely lost. Sometimes we are not aware of them, but the conditionings from the past are well alive in our inner being, in our mental life, and they are functionally alive, sometimes damaging our lives. So next one is misattribution. So we think in the wrong way about the origin of our memories. Some of our memories, we will think that they are coming from a certain event, a certain situation, while they are not. Misattribution is a trouble, but I would say it's one of the most frequent ones when we work with regression therapy. It's just something that might happen. We might think that some information we have about ourselves, our lives, or some other events is coming from the wrong place. Sometimes we read something and we think we knew it from a lesson. Sometimes someone told us a history that later on we attribute to ourselves, and so on. No big deal, because we are not so accurate many times in our memories. Then we have suggestibility. This brings us to the trouble with implanted memories. We can fool ourselves, and someone might fool us about the reality of our memory. And there is a classic example. This classic example concerns something like that dinner we had last year. We were there with friends, quite a lot of people actually, and we think we know who was there at that time, and we know some stuff that happened. But then someone tells us, do you remember that Mary was there and she said this and that and she did this and that? Well, we don't really recall that, but Mary is our friend, we know her, and later on easily we will have this idea, oh yeah, perhaps she was there. We have her image and we place her image in the wrong place. So later on we might recall that she was there when someone questions us. And of course we are wrong, this was an implanted memory, but it will now be a memory of something that never happened. Indeed, with regression therapy, many times we can get around this, and we can help our clients find the real memories, because then we can help them many times go about events in detail, and they no longer have an access that is so distorted. They might get a more accurate access to the reality of events. Not all the time, but it's possible to get there. The next sin of memory is about bias or prejudice. Well, we have this tendency to make an interpretation of the events of our life and of the past according to our ongoing present day mental state, to the way we think nowadays, to the way we see things nowadays. So many times we look at our memories from the past and we add something to them that was not there because of the way we interpret events. Like, one classic example is that we recall that we saw a car, but we never actually saw the whole car. We can later tell ourselves and other people that we saw the whole car, but what we saw was half of the car, because there was a corner in a street and we saw half of it, but we will say the whole car was there. Well, perhaps it was cut in half, we don't know. The real accurate memory is that we saw half of it, and we tend to complete what is incomplete in our perception and in our memories, so we add something. It's a classical idea. When we tell a tale, we add something to it according to the way we interpret our world. It brings less accuracy to our memories, of course, but once again, because with regression therapy techniques we might get closer to the raw materials of the past, we have better chances of going about the situations at the emotional detail of what we went through, and then we get better data about what happened. Well, the last sin of memory is the persistence of memories that are unwanted. This happens a lot with depressed people. They recall something that has been painful or traumatic. Many times they do it in a repetitive way, the same way that sometimes we just forget something that is still functionally alive, damaging us in a way. But so here we repeat situations from the past, memories that are just nasty. In the same way, sometimes we have the trouble of not being able to access positive memories when we are depressed. We are mainly getting access all the time to what went wrong, to our wrongdoings, what we lost, what has been painful, humiliating, and so on. And we even get the impression that everything in our lives has been like that. Well, that's a trouble, because sometimes our memories correspond to our emotion, and we recall things according to the emotional tone we are at. So if we are sad, it's a lot easier to recall sad memories. Again, there are tricks, there are ways to go around this and to recall all memories, not just the painful ones. But that's a different subject here. What I want to emphasize is that many times we can indeed get around memories that are disturbing. We can solve them, assign them new meanings. We can also find new ones. We can find lost positive memories and so on. And we can also get around the unwanted memories, of course. Well, this was what I wanted to share, because the theme of memory, of course, is quite fascinating to me. And it tells us a lot about the way we build our personal selves, our personal identity, and how we can manage that personal identity as we manage memories. And they can be either memories we know about, and many times memories we did not know about, but that then we recover and we manage. Okay, this is all for today. As you know, if you like it, please comment, share, subscribe to the channel. See you later.